Hey, the Breakmaster here, and this is going to be my Persona 4 Episode 2 review. And this is a good episode. It was very informative, and there's just a lot of stuff that happened in this episode. I'm not going to try to explain all of it, because there's a lot of stuff that happened, but yeah, let's just basically go out this. First part of the episode, you see Igor and Margaret again. They're all talking about something, and then the opening starts. I love the freaking opening. So awesome. People listen to that all day. Garage opening up. You heard that. Yeah, so you know, there you see the people again. You see what's her name? I think it's Nanako. I think it's her name. Yeah, it's Nanako. She's on the ground. They have to wake her up, and Hanamura and Narakami. They're all there trying to trying to get out because they need to get out of this place. And then the bear was there and stuff, and the bear was all, wanting them to leave. So he ended up pushing them back out of the place, and then they're back home, and they're like, "Oh crap, we're home." So they wonder how it happened. So apparently the television is a portal to the next world, to that world. And so basically what was going on, we end up seeing about this inn. These people were some person died in this inn, and the people were having trouble over there, and so that was going on. And then what's his name? What's his name? It's Hanamura. He was doing just texting that girl Narakuchi or something like that. Konoshi is her name. Konoshi. So texting Konoshi, and she wasn't texting all day. She never replied back. And he was wondering what was wrong and stuff like that. So then they have this assembly, and apparently she ended up dying. And he was like, "Oh crap!" And so then he really thought about this. He was thinking about it, and he's like, "Huh? What if that world has something to do with it?" Because he watched the Midnight Channel last night, and he ended up seeing Konoshi on the TV screen, and he was like, "What if the people we see are in the strains of death? Because the person we saw before, that's what they actually died before." So he's like, "Huh?" And maybe they're not dead. Maybe they're in that other place. So they assume all this, and so he's like, "I want to go back over there and go save her." So they end up getting some rope tied around their waist. That kind of don't really work, but they did that, and so then Narukami, he's like, "I want to come too." And so the girl's out. The girl Nanako is like, "God dang it!" So she has to be the one holding the rope and stuff like that. And she didn't really want to do this, but she just want to hold the rope. But she had a bad feeling like it might not work. So they end up jumping in the TV. The rope breaks, and she's like, "God dang it! I knew this was gonna happen." So she was sitting there waiting for him the whole time. And so as that was going on, they're back over there, and they beat up the bear, and the bear's like, "Oh, why are you back over here? I bet you're the ones that are taking these people and bring them over here and stuff." And they're like, "People?" It's like, "Wait a minute." So you seen people coming over here and all this stuff, and he's like, "Yeah." And so they ended up walking together because they decided that because he wanted to help the bear out. The bear wants these people to get out of here, and so he can just have a beautiful life. So yeah, that was happening. So they ended up going, and then she's like, "I seen this girl around here," and then Hanamura was like, "Oh, you seen this picture of this girl? Is this girl you talking about?" And this shows the picture of what's her name, Kanoshi, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I saw her, but I lost track of her when she went in that house." And it's like, "That's her house right there." And then we start hearing voices and stuff, and apparently her father was saying some stuff, and then she was saying some stuff, and then basically this was like character development for Hanamura. And so basically this is saying like the things like the girls all saying, "Oh, this guy's so annoying and stuff, and I'm always being nice to him because I work at that place, and his father owns that place, so he's just trying to be nice and stuff like that." And she don't really have no feelings for him and stuff, and so that's really bothering him. And then this freaking shadow of himself ends up coming. It looks just like him, and he's just telling him his insecurities and all this stuff. The reason why you're here, basically, you want to be here because you want to be a hero. You don't want to save anyone. You don't want to save that girl. You don't want to do any of that. You want to be here because you want to be a hero. And then it was really taking him down, and he didn't like it. And so they ended up turning into a shadow monster thing, and they have to fight. And so what's his name? Murakami ends up using his persona to fight and everything like that. And then at the end of the fight, basically, because he ended up defeating it, Hanamura ends up getting a persona too, because apparently that thing was his persona. That's because it's you inside. It's like I am you and you and me and stuff like that. It's just basically what it is. So once he got defeated and he accepted himself, he ended up getting him as a persona. Now he has powers too. And so they come back home to the other side, and the girl's all worried, crying for him and stuff like that. And so she's like, "I want some pepper beef," and yeah, so this is nice. It was nice and good right there. And so the next episode, apparently, I think we're gonna end up seeing this girl die. She has black hair. We end up seeing her later, like at the end of the episode, or she was on TV talking about the strange death that's been happening in her that death that happened to her in and stuff like that. So she was, talking about it, and I think she's gonna be the one that's gonna be dead next, or something's gonna happen to her because it shows her running on the TV screen. So, yeah. Somebody think about this episode, comment down below, and like if you like my review, and if you like Persona 4 the animation, and subscribe to my channel for some more Persona 4 reviews. And yeah, so this is the Break Master, and until then, break out.